In 2021, a saver deposited $20,000 into what her bank promised was a completely safe account. It was the kind of sensible, low-risk move your parents would nod approvingly at, backed by a government guarantee. The appeal was obvious. She secured a fixed return, avoided all exposure to the stock market, and received an assurance that her principal balance was entirely protected by the federal government. Fast forward 3 years to the day she finally pulled that money out. If you look at her bank statement, the account did exactly what it promised. The number on the screen had steadily grown. But when she took that larger balance out into the real world, she discovered a problem. That money could actually buy her less than her original $20,000 could 3 years earlier. She had suffered a real mathematical loss. This exposes a truth that catches cautious savers off guard every single day. Guaranteed does not automatically mean safe. Cash sitting perfectly still in a traditional account is quietly losing real value, eaten away by a set of steep, hidden costs that your bank statement will never warn you about. To understand how this happens, look at the account she used, the Certificate of Deposit, or CD. When you open a CD, you make a specific trade. You give the bank your money for a fixed period of time, and in exchange, they lock you into a frozen, unchangeable interest rate. This chart shows exactly where that rigidity becomes a problem. If you lock your CD at a fixed return of 2.5%, and inflation in the broader economy surges to 5%, that red gap represents the active, measurable erosion of your purchasing power. And yet, your bank will send you a statement highlighting that 2.5% growth in bright green. They frame a guaranteed mathematical loss of real wealth as a positive gain. The core flaw of the traditional CD is its total rigidity. It is completely blind to the economic reality unfolding around it. That rigidity creates a second issue, reinvestment risk. If economy-wide interest rates climb after you open your account, you are suddenly stranded, earning an outdated, inferior rate, while newer accounts pay noticeably more. If you try to adapt and move your money to capture those higher rates, the bank springs the trap. You are hit with steep early withdrawal penalties, effectively freezing your money in a bad deal. And then comes the tax drag. Even if you lock your money into a 5-year CD and cannot touch it, the IRS still taxes the interest your account generates every single year. Think about how strange that mechanic actually is. You are forced to pay out-of-pocket taxes annually on phantom income that you haven't even been allowed to touch or spend yet. It is a relentless, three-pronged attack on your wealth. Inflation erodes the value from the bottom. Penalties box your money in on the sides, and the IRS skims it right off the top. During that exact same 3-year period, another saver used a completely different account directly issued by the United States government, the Series I savings bond. This chart breaks down the I bond's unique defense mechanism. Instead of a single frozen number, the yield is a composite rate. You get a small fixed baseline at the bottom, topped with a dynamic inflation rate that expands and contracts, recalculating every 6 months based on real-world price changes. It also neutralizes the tax drag. I-bond interest is completely exempt from state and local taxes, and federal taxes can be deferred for decades until you actually cash the bond out. While the first saver was frozen in a losing bet, the I-bond saver held an asset mechanically designed to track and offset the exact economic threats that destroy purchasing power. But before you move all your cash, we need to look at the physical limitations of the I-bond. You are strictly capped at buying $10,000 per calendar year, and every bond comes with a mandatory 12-month lockup where your money cannot be touched for any reason. Furthermore, if you cash out an I-bond before 5 years have passed, you forfeit the most recent 3 months of interest. Because of these rules, there are specific moments when a traditional CD is genuinely the smarter choice. If you have a large lump sum that you know you need on an exact future date, say an 18-month timeline for a house down payment, a CD secures your specific target amount without the unpredictability of a fluctuating rate. I-bonds do not win in every scenario. If you are entering a period where inflation is steadily falling, locking into a high fixed CD rate is mathematically the correct bet. Financial professionals avoid guessing which account will win by using a specific strategy called laddering. This chart illustrates how a CD ladder works. Instead of dumping all your cash into one massive term, you split your money across 1-year, 2-year, and 3-year CDs. As that first 1-year bar ends, it loops back and frees up cash, giving you a continuous opportunity to capture new interest rates. Combine that rolling CD ladder with a consistent $10,000 annual I-bond purchase. Over time, you build an all-weather portfolio that survives rising inflation and capitalizes on high fixed rates. This highlights a critical lesson for cautious savers. While we often worry about dramatic threats like stock market crashes or bank failures, the real danger is often far more subtle. The most dangerous risk to your savings is the quiet, invisible loss of real value over time. True financial safety requires knowing exactly which type of risk you are actually trying to avoid.